Hello friends, welcome back. Today's video is all about some must-have Fujifilm X-H2S accessories if you are wanting to protect your camera. The context for this video is a few things. I've done 2 rig builds. If you guys want to see my full kind of breakdown of the rig that I'm running for the X-H2S, go watch that. In addition, I've made a video about some of the dangers of using V-mount batteries. I actually fried the HDMI port on my X-H2S early in the year, made a whole video about it, and I actually had a friend have the exact same thing happen to him. So I know it's not just me. I wanted to make this video sort of as a follow-up to show you guys some things that I've added to my workflow in building out my X-H2S rig. I've picked up some key accessories that really just make the setup more secure if you are building it up into a bigger rig. So I hope this video would be helpful to you. Let's get into it. Okay, these first 4 are all about protecting your camera. The first one is going to be this HDMI clamp, and I'm currently running the SmallRig cage. I did look into all the other cage systems out there after I ended up breaking my camera because I was curious, is there a cage system out there that allows me to lock the HDMI port and lock the USB-C port, as that is the primary way I like to power my camera? And to my surprise, I didn't find a single manufacturer that allowed for both those things. There was plenty that allowed for one or the other, and so this led me to stay with the SmallRig cage, but I did end up picking up this clamp that fits the cage perfectly. It allows you to lock your HDMI cable into your camera with just a thumb screw, still allows access to the rest of the ports, and provides just a really secure connection so that your cable is not coming unplugged accidentally. The next one is a product that I am surprised that no company out there is actively selling. There is actually a guy on eBay who is 3D printing these, and I found them and I ordered them, and it's awesome. It is this USB-C clamp that attaches to your Fujifilm camera, no cage required, and from there it has a thumb screw where you can lock in the USB-C cable on your camera. Comes with a circular cutout one as well as a square cutout one, I think, for different cables. I've just used the circle one. It has worked great. I will say, while this does lock in the cable and does what I'm looking for it to do, it will add a few quirks to your setup. You can't really use the screen to flip around towards yourself when you have this installed on your camera. Not a problem for me, as I am using this with the rig when I am not wanting that cable to come unplugged, but just so you would know. And then if you are trying to kind of tilt your screen to the side, you're going to have to tilt back your V-mount battery and kind of move the screen in an awkward way, as the thumb screw that locks in the cable does kind of get in the way of the screen and the side of the camera. In addition, while you're using this clamp, if you want to have your screen tilted forward, that's actually going to end up blocking the headphone port, which for me, I end up running this a lot with headphones. And my solution for this is just actually plugging in headphones to my external monitor. Pretty much all external monitors have a headphone jack. Overall, the clamp is super solid. I am shocked Fujifilm does not sell their own version of this. Definitely go support whoever is selling these on eBay, as this product has really helped me out. The next item is actually going to be a cage for my monitor. I used this one from Camvate, as it fits both my FeelWorld F5 Pro X monitor as well as my Andy Cine A6 Plus V2. I bought both of them. They both fit. There was a tiny gap at the top that other people reported, and if you just add a small washer, it makes sure the cage doesn't have to bend at all to get super secure. So I did that on both my monitors, and it is super secure. This allows you to actually lock in your HDMI to your monitor so that it is not accidentally coming unplugged if your cable gets snagged. So it's securing the other end. One end is secured now in the camera. The other is now secured here in the monitor. One quick note, this one came with like a screw that you would need to use a screwdriver to tighten. I did not like that, and so I actually had some extra screws lying around. I don't know what these are from, but it allows me to just tighten this with my thumb. It's just a 1/4 so I'm sure you could buy something out there, but I had these ones lying around. Makes making adjustments, taking this on and off really easy, and I don't have to go reach for a tool. The next item you may or may not be interested in when it comes to protecting your Fujifilm camera is a fan. And it's interesting that I'm even putting this in this video, because the entire time I've owned my Fujifilm X-H2S, I have shot plenty of indoor, plenty of outdoor days in the heat, and I've never experienced overheating to the point where my camera would turn off. And ever since my camera got fried and I sent it into Fujifilm for repair, I've been noticing just some intermittent overheating issues. This prompted me to look into the cooling fan solutions, as I don't have time right now to necessarily send it back to Fuji to have them re-verify if there's an issue or not. So if you are experiencing overheating on your Fujifilm camera, I did want to just share quick notes about these fans. I do not have the original Fujifilm fan, as it is $200, but I did pick up this very cheap knockoff fan that kind of friction fits. And this is an okay solution for me. I have been running it on my camera outside on some pretty hot days, and it has definitely helped my camera not overheat. It friction fits, and so this is pretty much not going to work if you are running your camera without a rig. Because of the way I specifically built mine and the way my V-mount battery plate kind of tilts back, I actually can friction fit this right behind my V-mount plate between it and the camera, and using some little screws, it actually holds it in place. It's super secure. But if you are running your camera without a rig and you're experiencing overheating, I would just encourage you to get the one from Fujifilm, as it screws into the camera directly. You don't have to run a cable for it. But did just want to drop a note that I have been trying out the budget one, and while it does add an extra cable, it is not perfect. For $30, it has been getting me by on some shoots where it has been quite hot outside. Those first 4 items are really geared towards protecting your camera. These last 2 are mainly just fun, but I wanted to share them as well. First one is these cable organizers. And while I think you can buy these from several different camera brands out there, I actually found someone who made a 3D printable model online. You can simply download the file for free, and if you have access to 3D printing, you can actually get this printed for free. So here, my local libraries actually have a space where you can reserve a time slot, go in and 3D print. I went in and printed several of these. It worked great. I really had no experience ever 3D printing, and they came out great. I put one on the side of my rig and then one on the bottom of my V-mount plate. Just gives me a couple extra spaces to tie up some cables and to take the strain off the ports. If I'm needing to route cables, I still want to keep my setup clean, and these cable organizers did a great job at that, and they did not cost me anything. The last item on this list is just this NATO rail rod clamp solution. So I replaced the NATO rail that is typically on the top of my camera with this really shallow, low profile one. It actually has a slot to accept a 15mm rod. So I put a little 4-inch rod in there. And then from there, I found these adapters that allow you to put a cold shoe onto a rod. And so from there, I have been mounting a few different accessories on the side of my camera. I feel like the way that SmallRig integrates their cold shoe on the cage has pretty much always been useless to me. I can't ever fit a microphone there. It's kind of in the way of my cable management. And so this actually gets it out of the way. I can mount a shotgun mic up here, as well as a receiver for a wireless mic. It's been really handy, and hope that you guys would find it helpful as well if you are trying to mount additional things to your rig and it's getting quite bulky. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you would find this video helpful, as I'm really just trying to take people into my actual process of using the Fujifilm X-H2S as my primary camera on video productions, sharing with you kind of along the way all the little things that I'm adding to really streamline this camera, make it work for me when I'm trying to push it into more production environments where it's not exactly made for that, where it's not the most convenient that's made for those scenarios. So I hope you would find some of these solutions creative and helpful. Let me know if you have any questions down below, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.